Scott, this is an unbelievable costume, but I don't recognize it from anything. What is it?
So the character's actual name is Harad Deathbringer. If you notice, the initials are HD. Because what this is this is a custom character that my partner Stephen K. Smith and I created of SKS Props to launch our foam line. We have a specific line of cosplay and prop specific foam called HD Foam. And we're here in New York this weekend promoting it with our partnership with Blick Art Materials.
Ooh, okay.
Who now carries all our products online and in stores. Because we're doing it as a promotional piece, we couldn't really have a licensed character. So we wanted it to be very Diablo, very Dark Souls, very kind of Lord of the Rings inspired, so very recognizable character, and to show off all that the HD foam can do, so this is the character that we created.
Hey everybody, Norm from Tested here in the Artist Alley portion of New York Comic Con. It's definitely an artist here. It's Steve from SKS Props. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great, man. It's busy.
Yeah, and you have not only some of your amazing prop pieces and costume pieces that you've made that people can find, of course, on your YouTube channel, but also you developed your own line of foam. For a long time, people wanted to buy cheap foam, bought just like mattress foam. You got the texture on it.
Either that or the Harbor Freight floor mats.
Yes, the floor mats. What were the qualities for your HD foam that you wanted in terms of thickness, in terms of the shore hardness?
Well, the biggest thing on there is I really wanted the foam itself to be user-friendly. When you're using Harbor Freight floor mats, they're designed to be stood on, so they're very, very tough. You know, they've been heat treated twice. My stuff isn't like that, and so the density of mine is higher at the same shore hardness. Most foam, you have to use heat to manipulate it, right? Mine, you don't. You can actually use your hands to manipulate this stuff, and then just put like a strip of 2 mil on the back, and it will retain that shape. So the other thing that's great though is that because it is so smooth, it paints, it sands, and it cuts beautifully.
So you can cut angles, get your bevels in.
Oh yeah.
And it's real clean. You're not going to get particulate everywhere. You're still gluing it together with barge and cement?
Yeah. So we've tested like all the adhesives. So you know, for those people that still want to use hot glue, you can use hot glue. But like, I love barge.
Yep.
You know, Bill loves barge, and so I use a lot of that. But for a lot of the little details, you know, Bob Smith super glue works great as well.
Right, and you don't want to waste the material either.
Right.
You want to be as versatile as possible. Something also interesting is you also have foam clay. How did this come about, and how are people and you using foam clay?
Foam clay is a game changer for people that want to do a lot of organic sculpting and shaping. All of the horns on this custom armor are all foam clay. I used tin foil to make the base shape, give it some rigidity, and then skinned it with that. So what foam clay is, it's a putty in the beginning stages.
Okay.
Test that out.
Yep, very putty-like.
After about a day, it'll start to get a little bit harder and it'll start to skin.
And this is just through air?
Yeah, it's all air, so no baking like Sculpey or anything like that. This is a month.
Oh, and that's rock solid.
It's rock solid.
Yeah. Wow. And when it's in this form, even this form, you could start carving into it.
Yeah, so with the horns here, I let them dry for about 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I went in with the Dremel and gave it all the additional textures.
Is it just the skinning, or is the interior,
The interior is still almost in this state until the moisture wicks out of it.
Got it. So it's about the moisture really leaving it to a point where it's nothing but the polymer.
So if you wanted it to stay a little squishy for longer, if you sealed it sooner in its process, it would trap that moisture.
Right. Is there any way to get back to a more malleable state once it's here?
You can add a little bit more water to it, but you have to be careful with that ratio because it is water. It can break it down if you add too much. I built this armor in 10 days for this show. No one should ever do that. But this is kind of the example of everything I have to offer because this is 6mm foam. I have bevel dowels. All this trim here is already pre-cut. And so all that people would have to do would be to buy your bevel trim, outline it, and then with a lot of this, so this is foam clay, pressed into a mold, frozen, and then taken out.
So you actually use it in molds?
In a press mold.
Okay, great.
Yep. And then a lot of this other stuff is just manipulating the foam. So I've got like 2mm used as a leather wrap, you know.
And then you're finishing, are you applying any type of clear coats, anything to prime it for painting?
For painting purposes, I did Plasti Dip on this particular one, but you could use, any of the other ones like Mod Podge or Flex Bond, anything like that would work. But Plasti Dip here, and then Rattle Can, and then I hand paint almost all of my props.
Yeah, it looks great.
This is vacuum formed. This is 2mm vacuum formed. Right on the package, on the vacuum former on a buck, and then leak seal the back side of it to kind of help retain the shape. But you don't see vacuum form foam every day.
That's really neat. Thank you for bringing all this cool stuff here, giving demos, and making a costume in
10 days. 10 days, Norm.
Insane. It's great to see you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much.
While this looks like a heavy steel helmet, it's actually soft, flexible foam and weighs probably only about 5 or 6 ounces.
That's right. Yeah, the whole thing weighs probably less than 6 pounds.
So that looks like it's actually kind of almost comfortable.
It is. I'm very mobile in this. Incredibly mobile. It's incredibly light.
I love the way that companies like Blick and Smooth On and other companies have reached out and embraced the cosplay community. There's something to be said for low-level sponsorship, allowing people at the beginning of their careers to have access to materials and processes that they might not otherwise, and this seems to continue in that great tradition.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic, and I love that these costumes are getting both more elaborate and more comfortable as the technologies improve. And is there also some laser cutting going on in some of this?
So on this particular costume, there isn't any laser cutting.
Oh, okay.
But we have laser cut a lot of stuff, and like I said, we've run this foam through every test you can do. I've laser cut it, I've vacuum formed it, I've cricket cut it, I've wood burned it, we've dremeled it, we've used every type of glue, every type of adhesive. Every type of paint, it works fantastic. Every type of sealer, that's it exactly.
And this is it's a lovely job done. And are you feeling it? You like this character?
Oh, I love this character. I've been walking through the con, and I'll come up behind somebody, and they'll turn around like, oh, like they'll be scared, or I'll bump into somebody. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, hang on, can I get a picture with you? And they're like, I love this. Like, I don't know what it is, but this is just amazing. And it's a really great feeling to walk around and have that kind of admiration for something you've put together.
That's fabulous. Scott, thank you so much
for
showing me.
I really appreciate it.
Really inspiring.
Absolutely.